Hi, my name's Tyler,
I'm Jack.
and the name of our installation is Sports Composition. So, what I did for this project was more of the programming side on Max, and then also using the data that was found to basically create the soundtracks that we're using for our project.
Yeah. And my roles for the project were data collection. I went online, got several different data sets. I designed some of the graphics for the project, most of the graphics, and then I exported all of the final videos that we are uploading to YouTube.
And then now, just a basic overview of our project. So, we wanted to basically make data come to life. And by doing that, we really chose a sports team. We could choose any kind of sports team, but we went with basketball and for this project in particular. And so, with that being said, basically what we want to do is for this project in particular, we did wins and losses, rankings, and then also field goal percentage. And with that data, we're basically making sound files with that data. So if it's a win and loss, every time they're winning, this little sound file or the note will go up, and then every time they lose, it'll go down. So kind of make a cool music composition with different parts of the data that we're finding, and it's just a cool way to kind of hear how a team does throughout the season. And then basically, how we accomplished this throughout the semester was at first we basically did a lot of time just kind of researching how we were going to achieve this through Max, and then also basically just collecting the data for all the sports teams for basketball. And we did a little collaboration with Davidson Apple to really get the patch fixed up and get the figuring out how to make basically the values go up one and down one for the 82 games for wins and losses. We actually didn't end up going with the actual match patch for the final just because we wanted a little bit more creativity with how we manipulate the sounds. And we really wanted to basically make it more enjoyable to hear, and we felt as though Max couldn't do that as well, so that's why we transferred over to GarageBand to basically complete the final project, but we still use the data that we collected in the beginning of the year. And then you want to talk about the future?
Yeah, but before I get to the future implications of the project, I wanted to talk about the other two data sets. So we chose wins and losses for each NBA team. There's 30 teams. We also did power rankings and how those teams stacked up within their division. There's 6 divisions in the NBA, Atlantic, Central, there's several different other ones. But we put each team throughout the course of the entire year. So there's 24 weeks in the NBA season. Every week they would receive a number of 1 to 5, whether and that would be associated with where they are in relation to their power rankings inside of each of their own divisions, and so those numbers correlated to chords in the key of C. So if they were ranked number 1, they would be the chord that would be played is C. 2 would be D minor. 3 is E minor. 4 is F, and then 5 is G. And so we did that same thing with field goal percentage. So how they stacked up against their own divisions. And again, it was a range from 1 to 5. However, those were not chords. Those were octaves, and that was the bass notes that you'll hear in the composition. But yeah, those are the other 2 data sets that we included. However, in the future, if we want to, I think we both thought this project was pretty interesting. It was really fun. However, I think something we would implement in the future is more data sets, different type of statistics. And one of our friends was saying, hey, this is really interesting, but it'd be so cool if you could include sound files from basketball. So like net swishes, or the basketball hitting the ground, or people clapping, stuff like that would make it maybe a little bit more interesting to listen to, a little bit more going on. Of course, these are interesting songs, but we could just add more dynamics with that. Maybe data sets like blocks per game or shots per game, shots missed. There's so many statistics. But yeah, and then for the future of this project, another thing about the future would be just doing this with more teams, because there's tons of different sports out there. There's football, there's baseball, hockey, soccer. You name it. There's tons of things. So this project could go a long way, and I think people find it interesting. But yeah, that's the overview, and that's the basic background of the project, and then what we see could come from this in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you.